So the state of California decided to use taxpayer dollars and build these high-rise apartment buildings to house people that are on Skid Row, the homeless people on Skid Row. Um, there's a lot of things to unpack with this, but what do you think the living conditions are going to be like in these high-rise buildings with all these homeless people? Giving people a shelter doesn't correct their drug problem. It doesn't correct their mental problems by and large. You're going to have a crime-infested, disease-infested building. It's going to be a disaster. And of course, using taxpayer dollars, it's been shown already that this is funding corruption in California. These so-called homeless programs. The problem is in California, you have massive migration, whether it be chain migration, because you have anchor babies, particularly from China or from Central America, or you got floods of people migrants, and they go to California because they have a generous welfare program. It's an expensive place to live, but when you have a situation like this, a generous welfare program that draws people, even from all over the country, as well, homeless people go to California for a reason, because that's where the drugs are at, that's where the welfare is at. And when you do this, you're going to get a concentration of this. When you have Soros-funded DAs that don't enforce the law, you're going to have crime. Businesses are going to leave. When you have a very high tax rate, where not just income tax, but sales tax, where your gasoline is like more than $5 a gallon, businesses don't want to do business there. And of course, people are leaving. Middle-class people are leaving. Your upper middle-class people are leaving. You're getting homeless people coming in. When you advertise free housing in Los Angeles, you're going to just have more homeless people in Los Angeles because you're incentivizing the problem. The solution to this is actually the opposite of what they're doing, is you get the government out of it completely. That would put an end to the corruption. That would put an end to the incentivizing drug addiction and mental illness. That would incentivize people to have some accountability on themselves if they can't get freebies. So I say accountability to rationality. So enforcing the law, having equal protection under the law. You don't favor groups legally, because they have certain political affiliations. You don't steal by force, that is via taxation, from the people who actually produce. You don't kill the goose that lays the golden egg, which is what California is doing. You do the opposite. California is incentivizing failure and punishing success. And that's what happens. Gavin Newsom, I think, has political ambitions, but by all means, we need to not vote for this guy. And people in California are probably wising up, but the fraud and corruption is so big in California, it may take an outside intervention to correct. So the solution to all this is accountability to rationality. Politically speaking, you get the government out of all this. You don't incentivize failure and punish success. You need laissez-faire capitalism. That would actually fix a lot of these problems. But what can I do? I can talk about it and hopefully give this perspective to other people.